Hi everyone, this is Melissa, and today I'm going to share with you this little card I made and a few directions on how to make it yourself using the Imagine. I'm going to be using two cartridges today. One is a basic cartridge. It's called Cindy Lou, and I'll be working with the little deer images here. And the other is the Imagine More Cards cartridge. And I'm going to be using this pattern here, which is on page 37. I'll also be using this brown pattern paper on page 40 and this pink dot paper on page 41. So let's get started with the Gypsy. Here I have my Gypsy on using the Imagine application. And the first thing I did was I touched the little Imagine cartridge icon here and chose Imagine More Cards, and then I went back to the Imagine icon so I could first start printing out some paper. I typically like to use the square on this, so I'm going to scroll down here and find the square. And you can also use these options for doing paper. Personally I like the square. So, and I'm also going to be making a 5x5 card, so it's probably the easiest thing to use. I'm going to hit the pencil to edit the square. I would like it to be, we'll make it at a, 5 should be good because I'm not going to go any larger than that. And the first pattern I want to use is the stripes pattern. So I'll click that. It's at a 5x5 and I'll hit apply. Now I want another piece. I want the little pink piece to go behind it. So I'm just going to copy it, edit it, and this time I'm going to choose the pink paper, the pink polka dotted paper. Okay, and apply that. Also at a 5x5, so you can see both papers are up here. The other thing I want to do is make this little circle with a scallop, which is also in the Imagine content. Here's the circle. I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to make that at a 3.5. So I thought I had to edit it. I'm going to go down to 3.5, and then I'm going to choose the brown pattern paper that I talked about earlier, which is that one, and I'm going to apply that. The next thing I'm going to do is choose the scalloped circle, which is this. The scalloped circle is going to be at a 4. So I'll adjust that, and then I will pick the pink pattern again and hit apply. So now those options are all finished, and that will give me this cute little brown circle with a scalloped, and it'll also give me this background paper that I have here, the stripe and the pink pattern. One thing I should mention is that oftentimes if your Imagine isn't calibrated properly and you choose one of these options from the screen here, like the scallop circle, sometimes what will happen is the black won't cut properly. If you see something like this where part of it is lining up properly and then the other part is not, you should recalibrate your machine. Another option if you're having problems with this is to choose a different cartridge, such as mini monograms, and on mini monograms you would be able to cut out, a scallop circle and another circle, and you won't get these big black lines. That's another reason why I cut my papers out at 5x5s and then I can cut them down, because oftentimes when the machine cuts, you'll get a black border, and you don't want that black border. You want just the original paper, and then that way I can trim it off. Now I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about the deer on Cindy Lou, and the way I get to that cartridge is to click the little original icon for cartridges and pull up Cindy Lou. And now the deer that I want to use on this cartridge is right here. And first I like to start with the shadow, and the reason I start with the shadow most of the time is because once you have chosen a size, then everything after that will come up. So instead of like clicking each of these now, the deer, the shadow, the little face, I'm going to start with the shadow first. So I'll click on the shadow, and I need to edit it. I want to get it to the right size. And I'm going to make the shadow at 2.9. Actually, why don't we just make it a true 3? That'll be easier to work with. And then I also want to change the color to a turquoise color that's going to match the stripe in the paper. So that's that darker turquoise color, and I'm going to hit apply. The next thing I want to do is choose just the deer, and again the size will be the same as the shadow, or it'll function properly with the shadow anyhow. This is going to be the nose of the deer and his little hooves, so I want to make that black. Oops, and so I go the opposite direction on the keypad, and there's black, and I hit apply. Then I'm going to hit the shift and pull up this little portion of the deer, and I'm going to make this brown. This little image is actually the spots and a little bit of the eye and also the inner ear. And I want to make that pretty brown paper that we had chosen earlier. Next, I'm going to go up to Layer, choose this, and this will be the majority of the deer, and I want that to be pink, the pink little polka dots that we chose for some of the other paper earlier. I'm going to apply that, and finally I want to hit Shift and choose his face. Now his face I'm going to leave white, and so I don't need to edit it. I know it's the right size, and you can just see an outline, and that should be perfect for printing on the Imagine. And I'll hit the next button. So now I have all of my images ready to go. It's actually going to take 2 sheets of paper. This is the second one that'll cut, and the first one has the paper, the circle, the scallops, and the shadow. And so by the time I get this cut out on my Imagine, I'll have each of these little individual pieces that I can put together and make this card. The only thing that isn't done directly on the Imagine is the You're the Sweetest. This is a stamp, and then I colored some pearls to add to the card as well. Again, it's a 5x5. I use sturdy cardstock for the base. And again, it's a 5x5 when folded, but it starts out as a 5x10. And they also sell envelopes that are perfect for this size. Thank you.